Hi folks, welcome to Unit 6. We are in Integrated Design 1 and I'm just reviewing what we're going to do for this week. We're going to begin to start on our second project. I know you've all submitted your Project 1, the full page ad, and now we're going to move on to doing something a little bit more selfish, and that is to create a booklet, a mini booklet, all about you. To start this, we have to understand how to work with multiple page documents, and the objectives of this particular project, Project 2, it is a major project. It's worth 100 points. We're going to be navigating pages, creating and editing pages, using master pages, setting margins and columns. They might look something like this. They might be a single page from one to the other, which I kind of recommend for this project. And you'll understand why if you see some of the examples below. Of course, begin with your instructions this unit, and take a look and see, what's involved here. That might be videos that are helpful under the resources label. And then also the Unit 6 exercise, follow along those tutorials, and then upload, create margins, master, and navigate files into a compressed zip folder to the submission link. So the Project 2 self-branding booklet, you had a little bit of an idea of what that was last unit, and you are able to post a little bit about the ideas that you might have. This unit, you move a little bit further in identifying some of the textures and shapes and symbols that might identify you as a designer. This project really does begin to open up your own thoughts and reflections about who you are as a designer. Consistency is key. So for example, your graphic elements, you want to be consistent throughout the project. This is the creative brief. You want a category, which could be a spread, a page, or a whole entire section requiring a minimum of 50 written words describing the chosen theme. So for example, if you like certain textures, if you like swirly line drawings, then that texture, you can talk about that in that category page. Talk about why that texture is something that you enjoy. You enjoy drawing a lot or something like that. That's just an example. On each section, you will have no less than one image. That can be a photograph. And then you also want one texture. So I just mentioned talking about a vector texture. A lot of you are familiar with that from your digital design fundamentals class, how I talked a lot about textures. Those could be anything from lines to polka dots to gradients, something that really gives some depth to your page. Okay, and of course this can be more than one page. It could be a spread. I do advocate you looking at some of the examples first to see the simplistic nature of the project. And we really want to focus mostly on consistency on the pages, yet we want a little bit of change from one page to the next, one section to the next. So master pages are key, and that's sort of what you're going to work on with the exercise and the multi-page document exercise. Master pages are required to build pages in this project. I will have some personal videos that I will upload that will help you walk you through master pages for this particular project, focusing on that throughout the duration of this project, which is several weeks long. Some of the other requirements are a front cover page. You don't want any less than 10 minimum pages, and then no more really than 17. This does not have to be a super long book. It is a multi-page document project. You want a mission page, as a mission statement page that can be found. I give you several resources here. This is the mission statement builder, which is a great help for this project. It's the Franklin Covey website. It will walk you through several different questions. And what I love about that is it helps you to get to know yourself and your own personal habits and dedications, and it helps you identify yourself as a designer a little better as well. Okay, so here are some of the categories you want to use. You want to have a mission statement, focus on that. You want to have a cover page. You also want to have a color scheme section, a typeface section, a textures section, a shapes section, and then any of the following: inspirational, family, food, hobbies, future, graphic design, vision, things like that. But again, if you're going to do 10 pages, you're going to want to have multiple sections. And then you want to have non-rendered quick draw or digital sketch showing your dominant layout ideas for the book. Just showing, maybe you have the title up top and then you've got a couple images down below and a texture in the background or on a border or something like that. Okay, so here is the rubric. Again, I said 100 points. You're graded on a sort of a low, medium, high level, poor, average, advanced. So take a look at some of these sections. Make sure that you are adhering to some of that. And then for the forum this week, you want to post your initial ideas. They can be the hand-drawn or digital sketches after reviewing your resources. I hope everybody has a great and successful week. I'm going to also give you a little rundown in here. I know it's a big week considering we're starting this new project. Here are some examples. I do want to talk about that. This is not the gold standard, as I write in there. Students worked hard on these, but these are some interesting examples, yet they aren't perfect. This is a cover page. We have a student who worked really hard on his, and I love what he's done here with consistency across the entire booklet. He has a table of contents. You all want to have a table of contents showing each section. This is from his Franklin Covey mission statement builder. It really did bring about some of the things that identify him as a person and a disciplined worker. Here's a color scheme page. I find this to be really well designed. And then he talks, this is that 50-word narrative that I require. If you notice from page to page, there's consistency, but it's not exactly the same. He writes typefaces, so that's the category header, color, typefaces. And then he talks about the typefaces in sort of a type specimen way. He breaks them down in type styles and then drops in some Greek copy. You can do that. There's several examples of type specimens. I give you in under resources this term for you to take a look at. Shapes. He likes unconventional shapes. I like that he gave some examples of that and how now he's still being consistent but adding some change from page to page. Textures. These are textures that I find interesting. He has a lot of line textures, organic, some patterns. You can do the same. Avoid widows, which are lonely one words at the end of a paragraph. That's something that you want to in design. It's a no-no. So be sure that you're flowing your text and aligning it properly so that whether there's hyphens or not, you want to use minimum hyphens, but whether there's hyphens or not, you minimize the widows because those really stand out and add for a very huge focal point in your design. Interest. Video games are of interest to him. So here are several sections, examples of images in his video games, I believe. And again, his narrative, very interesting way of presenting the information. Here he presents in long rectangular examples of scenes in the videos. Up here, he gives us a little bit different shapes to look at. And I find that to bring some interest to the overall piece altogether. And then this one, some additional images, hobby and inspirational, music. He's followed along that same example of scenes, long rectangular snippets, inset photos. But then back here, he's done the same and they're different. So that is his multi-page document. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he has 10 pages. That's the minimum amount. So he did a great job, and that's a good example to follow when you're putting together your book, which will be very different. I hope everybody has a different perspective, and that's what I'm looking to see here for this project. So be sure you download your exercise files, follow the video here for exercise 6, and then submit those exercise files on the multi-page document. Go back up here, look at some of those examples, and then the mission statement builder is a great place to start. You can do some of these other fun little quizzes and things if you'd like. It's not required that you do any of these. However, mission statement builder is required. I may move this one down under here just so you know that it's important. And then post your ideas, your initial sketches or your initial digital example. A lot of you prefer not to do quick sketches. I strongly encourage it, but if you feel better about going into your digital software program and putting together a quick digital example, that's fine as well. Or just write about it and give as many details as possible. That would be your forum. And then respond to your classmates with thoughtful feedback as you have been doing. I like to see progress on that as well. And good luck. If you have questions, please feel free to email me this week. And I look forward to seeing what you all have begun for this project. Again, it's going to be about a 3 to 4 week project. We're going to see the pace of the course, but nonetheless, an exciting way to get to know InDesign and creating those complex pages that we're going to be using in the industry. So I will see you in the next virtual video. And again, connect with me if you have questions.